Yo, 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 welcome to Team Raddtitan, and today we're at the London Comic Con 2018. It's a really exciting time. XM are in the house, first time ever visiting the UK. We're going to be running through some of the items that they have on show here, talking about some of the prices and bits and pieces that you can get. So let's start, let's move, let's get straight round. We'll start off with the DC Samurai line, so let's make our way over there. Huh? We'll talk to him later, we'll get him back. Oh, no, yeah, let's not go into that. I still don't care. Okay, and here we are. So, over here we got. So this is the DC Samurai line. This is the Batman that the Batman line that XM have been working on. And what we've got right here is this actually got worldwide distribution, so you can pretty much pick this up directly from XM. I actually missed a lot of the cons this year after the birth of my son. So now is the first time me seeing some of these painted up. So start off with the Bane. Come in there, Alex, and have a look at this Bane. So Bane's all painted up nicely. It's got sort of a steampunk effect going on at the moment. I haven't seen this before as well, this big scythe situation. It's a monster piece, man. Really coming on strong with the paints. There's a lot of, I've noticed, there's a lot of graininess to the sculpt at the moment with the musculature, which I'm really digging. This and the new Transformation Hulk, got that going on. We'll move across to the Catwoman. Alex has just picked this up. So we'll be hopefully doing a close review at this. I think she looks great, really nice, coming on fantastic. The Poison Ivy here, we did a review on this recently, stunning piece, come out great. And actually I think this was a highlight from last year, this is Batgirl in it. So the Batgirl comes with an assortment of heads, lots of switch outs, super dynamic, and I'm loving the Oni under the base there, that demon that's going on. Some seriously dynamic pieces there. It's quite big, this is quite big as well, this one. We've got a little bit of lovemaking music going on now for me and you, man. Okay, so let's make our way over and across. So again, final piece of the puzzle. This was a con exclusive. This is the Deathstroke. I have to say, for me, I think this is the best DC piece to date so far. I'm looking over this top to bottom, and I can't really find much to complain about. I really think that base is extraordinary. Great colours, great scale, great battle damage, great textures on the material and on the armour. Very impressed, really, really impressed. I'm not a big Deathstroke fan, but I think for anyone that is, this quarter scale one's a must. And it's actually the closest. It's the closest to the comic book of all the ones that I've seen, I think. Do you reckon? Yeah, Alex is nodding. So we'll move on to the Gambit. Again, this is another con exclusive. A lot of question marks actually over the portrait of this. A lot of people have said that there's a sort of a white ape situation that is occurring. I have to say, I agreed with the photos, but seeing it in person is absolutely unfounded. The portrait is stunning. It's got a great face structure, and the eyes are piercing. It's really, really nice. Super dynamic. That actually is a big surprise to me. I think that's one of the biggest surprises since I've been here. I wasn't feeling this from concept. I wasn't feeling this at the videos that Alex did at the con, but I'm really, really digging it in person. So anyone that's got this on pre-order, I think you've got a bit of a steal there. I think you've done well. Mystique actually looks great, but I think she's a bit big. Something saying to me that this is quite a large quarter scale piece for a female. I don't know what the inches of this are, but it looks like it's about maybe 20, 21 inches, and the figure is at least 19. So she's quite sizey for me. I think pairing her with certain characters is going to be hard. So you probably want something a bit beefy next to her. This real chain's lovely. The colours, the paints is stunning. It is a stunning piece, but it's a little bit bigger than I anticipated. Okay, moving on. We move on to the Storm. This is getting a lot of traction. The actual skin colour on this looks great as well. It's a little bit darker because of the lights of the last con. It was a bit bright, but it's come out perfect. It's exactly what I anticipated it being. Stunning piece. I actually really prefer the crazy portrait and the hands both by its side. I think that's the way to display it personally. Gary Speed's just picked up this Iceman. I think this is unbelievable, this piece. I think this is the best Iceman I've ever seen. I love the colour of the paint. I really don't know what they've done or how they've done it, but it's absolutely magnificent. And I'm loving this training room style base, all smashed up.
Danger room.
Ah, that's it, yeah. It is, but it's a training room, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Georgie boy's got to eat some humble pie now because George is going to have to go home and order this piece. I absolutely love this piece. At the moment, I mean, I'm not finding any awkwardness with the pose whatsoever. There are two things I dislike about it, and they're really minor. One is I don't like the colour of this thing. It doesn't seem to match the other red, so there's a bit of an issue there for me. And I don't like these icicles anywhere. I would like to see them probably removed from this. I don't think they work. There's something about them that they look almost 2D. They look like they're stuck on. It just doesn't look right. The portrait's absolutely insane, and seeing the two palms facing down is exactly what I wanted to see. Yeah, facing up, yeah. There is alternative switch out. I think one of them is the palms facing down, but I didn't like the balance of it. This actually works really well. I have this on order. I'm really happy with what I've seen today. I think the panelling's great. The only thing is, yeah, it's exactly. I'll be careful because you've got to move with the legs, but yeah, let go. So yeah, Alex is right. I mean, this really, ideally, it comes off, but it should pretty much be sort of there. You know, straighten it up. There's something about it slightly when it pegs and goes in the base. Sorry about that. It's quite hard to get back in. There you go. It sort of leans slightly off to the right-hand side.
It's not been engineered yet, apparently.
No, it's not. It's not finished. But again, that's what needs to be corrected. But it looks fantastic, and it's a real good space saver. This. It's about, I don't know, 21 inches by maybe 13 by 13 or something like that. So really, really easy to display. Okay, we'll carry on with the X-Men. We'll move over to Professor X. So this is the modern version Professor X. Again, I think the portrait is absolutely outstanding. I really can see the clear resin thing going on. It's a great comparison with Magneto.
I mean, translucent.
Yeah, it's got like a translucent resin effect going through it that I can sort of see on the portrait. My only issue with it is the shirt and tie. The tie needs a little bit of textures if this shirt is saying it's staying like this. I think it just looks a little bit off. Really love the suit, really love the waistcoat and the belt. But I think that there needs to be a little bit of a breakup of these two pieces. Not drastic, but again, nitpicking. I would like to see some decals on this screen and the base light up. I hope they're still going to do that. The screen's a bit plain. It definitely needs something. So this is the white Magneto. This is Age of Apocalypse Magneto, right?
This is the Marvel Now version.
Yeah. So I saw this when it wasn't painted, and the sculpt is absolutely magnificent. The only thing I'm going to say, Alex, you got big trouble trying to display this, bro. This is a monster piece. I don't know what that is, but that's looking close to 30 inches to me, and maybe about 25 wide. So that is an absolute beast. It is a monster to try and display. The colours are magnificent. Great work on the silvers. They really do stand out. It pops a lot. It's a beautiful piece. And I love the effect of the stopping the missile. Really come out well. So moving on to the classic version of the Professor X. Now for me, I actually, I think this is nice, but faced with the two choices, I don't know why you'd pick this one. I really feel the modern is far superior. Portrait's great. I'm not sure about this helmet. It looks a little big to me. But yeah, it's the great textures on the suit. I guess the reason to buy it would be that the fact it is a real good nod to the comics and the cartoon from the 90s. So, you know, really fantastic job there. Moving on round. So this piece is another one like Gambit that really surprised me. A lot of people have been hating on this one, and I can't understand what the issue is because the sculpt is absolutely unbelievable.
Well, the actual the artist apparently said he didn't want to be associated with it because he wasn't happy with how it came out.
Well, I can't comment on them type of things there, but I will say this: I think whoever made this should be incredibly proud of it. I think the sculpt is absolutely sensational. The textures on it and the shading, paintwork, and the base is beautiful. It's the best brown Wolverine I've ever seen. It's got some fantastic colours and some fantastic sculpt. So, you know, the gloves as well. The modern look on the gloves with the black, amazing, really beautiful work, and the pose is unbelievable. I really love this piece. It's one of the best Wolverines I've seen. I really think that this deserves a hell of a lot of credit. So, you know, really good job, really good job. Only critique, maybe, is a little bit in the belt. Could have been sort of weathered a little bit more, a little bit darker. It's a bit vibrant, stands out a lot. But, again, minor critiques, minor. Scarlet Witch came out, first time seeing it. I'm really digging it. Again, I'm still something about the portrait is lacking a little bit of feeling and a little bit of emotion for me. but I think it's absolutely stunning. And I mean, the crowds that are walking around the London Comic Con have never seen anything like this. Everyone's like wowing and cooing. I've never seen so many people around an XM booth. There's probably, this booth is not very big, and there's probably about 1,000 people walking around it. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, so the Weapon X, Alex has this in. Seen this, reviewed this, beautiful piece. And let's get on to the rest of the piece. We'll try and see the Star-Lord and the Groot and all the above. See what I mean? It's absolute turn. Look. Okay, so this is the Rocket and Groot. Wow. Really, really super impressive, especially the Groot. Rocket looks fantastic, but I was saying to Gary's got the Sideshow Rocket. I said you should definitely buy this. I think they pair fantastically together, and it looks great with Star-Lord. There's a real aggression in this pose and some great work.
They're also looking into doing it so you can display Rocket on a separate base, and to cover up the Groot peg is just going to have some fucking little twig or a leaf or something.
It's clever, yeah, well, yes, it's all you need, isn't it? But it's really aggressive. There's some serious attitude on both of their faces, and I love that. Super impressed. It's huge as well. It's massive. In person, I'm quite surprised at the size of some of these pieces. This is huge. So we're moving on to Star-Lord now. Now Star-Lord, it's got the face lit up. Everything looks great. It's got some super clean paintwork, but I think this base is an absolutely amazing concept. You start getting into the base. You've got behind his leg there. You've got all the dash. You've got that chair that's like broken, tilted.
It's called a cockpit.
Yeah, cockpit. Yeah. But it's the dash, isn't it? It's the screen. It's the front of the screen. Yeah. And then you've got the like twisted, broken chair at the back where he's leaping sort of. It looks like is this like the windscreen or something? He's jumping through it, yeah? What do you call a windscreen on a plane?
I don't know.
Carnage, don't like it. Let's move on. Still don't like it. Spider-Man. So this has been a lot of conversation about this piece. It's gone through some significant changes since Singapore Con last year. I actually think the changes are for the better, to be honest. I really, really like it. They've definitely trimmed up the Spider-Man. If you look around his waist, you'll definitely see it. It's a lot more like a real Spider-Man. It's got that sort of lean, ectomorphic, borderline, athletic physique. And I really think that captured it perfectly. They've trimmed him. He was a bit fat around the middle for me, for a Spider-Man. Now that the base is not so busy, you've got some nice nods to Dr. Octopus and the Green Goblin and Sandman, but a lot of the other stuff is gone, which I actually think brings a little bit more balance to the piece. I would probably like to see this a little bit more delicate. It's a little bit big, but beggars can't be choosers. This is magnificent. For all you boys that are out there, Sammy and all the rest of you.
The glass will be added later.
Where's the glass going? Into the panels?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Broken
glass, cool. Go close into that portrait and try and get a look at that sort of, can you see that? The sort of Spider-Man swinging or Spider-Man in his eyes. It's some sort of decal thing going on, and it looks amazing. For me, this is one of the best Spider-Man pieces out there. I really think this may actually be the best one. I have the Venom and I love it, but I really don't think you can compete too much with this. Paint, textures, dynamic, everything is absolutely unbelievable. Two really great portraits. If you really like the comics, the classic ones, the pumpkin head things going on. I don't really like it, but it's a true nod to the comics. Okay, moving on. I actually pre-ordered this piece. Alex told me it was 1/5 almost and looked a little small and it was easy to display. He is full of shit, right? This is a masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece. I'm blown away.
Yeah, when I saw this piece again, I was a bit like, yeah, this is kind of much bigger than I remember, and I really do not remember it being this big, and I had to contact George and say, yeah, you might need a bit more space than I've told you to allocate. You're going to be fucked.
Yeah, I haven't got a measuring tape with me, but it looks like a shade under 30 inches, but width-wise, it's got to be 20, maybe 25 to 30 across. It is an absolute. This is going to have to be a standalone piece for me. I'm going to put it into a glass cabinet with a mirrored back and all that. It's going to have to stand alone. I don't think this can go with anything else. But just get that face on Banner there. His eyes switching green, screaming. It is absolutely crazy. There's some serious texture going on the shirt that breaks it up from the lab coat. The tie's all twisted. The hair looks amazing. This is the best Hulk I've ever seen. I really can't praise this enough. Everything, even from the last detail down to the color. I really love the shade. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, so we're moving on now. We're gonna have a little look at the Predator. So this is the 1/3 Predator. Again, it's subject to a few changes, a few subtle changes. You know, we've seen this at the con and it looks crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. I think they've dropped the base height a little bit down, and they've definitely added some contrast and some better skulls going on there. I think it looks so much better. Some people were saying it's lost a little bit of the green that it had. There's a little bit more of a sandiness to it. It's not quite as green as I remember it being, but the teeth and face are nuts, man. It's crazy, crazy piece. I mean, really stunning. Now this actually blew me away. The sheer dynamic, crazy size of this, and it's the paint is absolutely insane. If you've seen Aliens and you've seen that, you know how they do the hive, and how it's like you can almost feel the stickiness, slippiness to it. You know, it's got that sort of gunky, wet, slimy look. You almost want to touch it. You want to rub your hands across it to see what happens. It's absolutely crazy. And they've got the big chap sort of head on there. There's a translucent dome. Got the chrome nails on the feet. And actually the feet have done really well. A lot of them are quite blocky on these pieces, but there's a bit of separation to the toes, which I love. Because in some of the aliens you see, their feet are all clumped together. It's so dynamic, it's mad. It is absolutely crazy. Been lucky to see a lot of the alien pieces. Only the Cinema Cat I haven't seen, but this is definitely the best alien piece I've seen. Just huge. Oh, you got and you got Jonesy hiding underneath the grate. That might have been, yeah, that's so cool. Let's have a look. Yeah, Jonesy looks great. Yeah, that's a lovely little Easter egg there. That's a beautiful little part. Just to hide him in there. Fantastic job. Grate's good as well. Nicely finished. But I'm not doing that. You can do that. I've still got a clean record with no breakages. I don't want to ruin that. We'll leave breaking to you. All right, so getting on to the DC line. Now, this has got the worldwide distribution, 1/6 scale. And actually, even looking at these prices, man, €490. That's crazy good. What's that like? Maybe £390? £400?
420.
That's fucking crazy good. I mean, for the detail and the work, it's a really great price. I haven't seen any of these before. I saw the concepts at XM's headquarters, last year, and to see how they've developed is amazing. This base doesn't look as big as I remember thinking it was going to be, but amazing detail, great portrait on that. It's insane. It really is stunning. It's come out fantastic. Beautiful. Hate the flash in terms of the character, but I think this is done pretty well. It's definitely received some breakages in shipping here, which is bound to happen with this translucent resin. Yeah, that's translucent through there, isn't it? It's like opaque. It looks good. The sculpt is good. It's nice and neat. It's got a decent portrait on it. Probably needs a little bit more shading for me. Looks like it could do with a bit more shading to darken it up. This is nuts. For me, this is the best one here. This Aquaman is fucking crazy. Yeah. You want him on your basketball team, innit? You're playing point guard, bitch. Right, so... Oh, Jonathan Mennon's here, yo, 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 yo. One of our boys, UK collectors. So, yeah, I don't know really how I can say other than this is the best Aquaman I've ever seen. I love the seahorse. I think that's magnificent. Got real chains going on, top and bottom into the stirrups and everything. The fish going around it is really, really nice. It actually looks quite... I didn't think you could get a blonde, bearded man riding a seahorse to look cool, but it actually does. I can't believe it does. But for me, the sculpt on the back is insane, man. I mean, he is buff as hellyming. Portrait's good for 1/6, full of detail, full of expression. Not digging this Superman so much. This is a little bit of a thick cast, looks a bit like a cake. I'm not digging that at all. Again, this is lacking some serious shading. For me, I like the base, I like what's going on here, but this needs a bit of work. Portrait-wise, looks good. Teeth are clean, eyes, you can feel the rage in the face, but I really think it's lacking some serious shading, and it looks a bit thick. Okay, so Wonder Woman, she looks great. Wonder Woman looks great. Great portrait, great femininity in the face, beautiful, beautiful pose. Got a little bit of a bend in that sword, so I don't know if that's some sort of PVC or plastic, but That needs to probably be hardened up a little bit, maybe changed to metal. Base looks good. She's got that paleness, a little bit of lightness, which is good for sort of an Amazonian sort of beefy woman. She looks fantastic. Yeah, you can see on the difference here, the cape and everything else, there's a lot more delicacy going on compared to the Superman. Done really well. Yeah, she's great. Okay, so let's move over to one of the stars of the show. So we saw this in New York. This is the David Finch Batman. Sanity. Yeah. So you got the sort of nightmare version and the full coloured version. Having seen them in person, they are magnificent pieces of work. I can see why this nearly brought a tear to Mr. Finch's face when it was unveiled. It's absolutely a credit to his work, credit to his art that XM have managed to do. For me personally, I really am liking the nightmare version more, the smoke. There's just something about it. It's got a darkness to it. It's got like a almost overwhelming, almost beaten feeling, like the never-ending fight, the never-ending enemies, the one after another. You know, you get one clear and then you're on to the next one. No one's giving them a minute to breathe. It really feels like that when you look at it. And I think that Batman highlighted in the middle and all of the colours lost on the rest of them really adds some darkness, some nastiness to the theme. I love it. And also, I think it makes you sort of decipher, it makes you look into who they are. It's not so obvious. It's not like, oh my God, that's the Penguin. It's more like, oh yeah, that's him, yeah. And then you sort of go around that way. Does he have a dome? Does he get a dome? Yeah, so he does get a dome. That was one of the questions one of our subs asked. I really like it, man. It's really crazy. And you get onto the full coloured version, the full painted version. It's beautiful as well. You can't lose either way. I mean, there is such a contrast in colours in the piece. You know, I think they're positioned really well to break them up quite nicely. Really amazing, really unbelievable. One of the highlights, one of the best XM pieces ever made for me. Yeah, this is special, real special. Got some classic details. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up now. We're going to get onto it. So thanks for joining us. Mad love. Like, comment, subscribe and share. And check out all our videos. Thanks for all your support. Peace.